Right now at 10, Wisconsin Supreme Court debate. Brad Schimel and Susan Crawford squaring off in the race to decide the High Court's majority.
And La Crosse School District open house. A first look at the new home for students at Spence and Emerson.
Plus, bringing history to life. A project sharing the history of African American settlers in La Crosse.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. La Crosse's mayoral candidates squared off in one of their final debates before Election Day.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit was a panelist at that debate and has the recap. Allison.
From environmental concerns to government accessibility, La Crosse's mayoral candidates had to answer about a variety of topics. Childcare access was the first question of the night. In recent years, the city has taken advantage of short-term federal funding to address childcare issues, but that funding will only last a few more years. Kalo said she would get guidance from city departments on how to fund future efforts.
Work with the planning department to find out if there are additional ways that the city could help with child care.
Washington Spivey said he would use his connections to build awareness.
Advocate with our state and local legislators to ensure that we bring that funding here in La Crosse.
Homelessness has been a top concern for La Crosse residents. Kalo defended her vote to ban overnight camping in the city.
I think we need to follow the Pathways Home Plan. And I would also say that giving someone a tent to go to a park or encampment is not safe nor effective in ending homelessness.
Washington Spivey said the city banned encampments prematurely, which has hurt the Pathways Home Plan.
The reality is our city also has to be able to provide the services that they need.
Neighborhood change generated the hottest debate. Last year, there was a fierce battle over whether the Reach Center could expand its low-income services.
We need housing of all types, and I will say that the rezoning of that Reach Center took away housing.
But Washington Spivey sided with the center over the neighbors.
There were certain folks in that community that led a charge that was inaccurate, and also, to be honest, I would say an idea of keeping certain people out of that neighborhood.
We're getting into the last stages of the campaign. Election Day is less than 3 weeks away, and early voting in La Crosse starts next Tuesday, the 18th.
All right, Allison, thank you.
Well, tonight was apparently the night to host a debate. WISN Milwaukee hosting Wisconsin Supreme Court candidates for their only televised debate. Brad Schimel and Susan Crawford are running to replace liberal-leaning Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, who's retiring after 30 years on the court. Questions centered on lawsuits over the state's 1849 abortion law and partisan figures like George Soros and Elon Musk giving money to their campaigns.
No judge or justice should be deciding this issue for the voters of Wisconsin. This issue belongs in their hands.
I'm proud of the work that I did as a lawyer. I was standing up in court fighting for the rights of women and their doctors to make those decisions. He's got paid canvassers who are knocking on doors, handing out flyers that say, support the Trump agenda, put Brad Schimel on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
I have no control over whatever any outside group does. I will enforce the law. I will apply the law the way the legislature has written it.
Both candidates agreed that the decision for recusal in cases is up to the judge alone, though they did not commit to recusing from specific cases.
Representative Derek Van Orden held a D.C. update call today to address voter concerns. He touched on DOJ layoffs, federal funding cuts, and Ukraine's agreement to a 30-day ceasefire with Russia.
We're closer to World War III, or have been until President Trump got into office, than we were in my entire lifetime. And I was raised during the Cold War. What we need in Europe is peace, and we need an enduring peace. And that means that there's going to have to be security guarantees by the United States and NATO with Ukraine to make sure that Russia does not repeat this.
Van Orden also spoke of crafting legislation that would help illegal immigrants continue to work in the U.S.
Senator Tammy Baldwin is pushing back against DOJ plans to cut more than 80,000 VA employees. She sent a letter today to the Trump administration opposing the cuts, and we spoke with the senator earlier today.
The thing that's probably the most maddening is that they're doing this not to increase efficiency, not to go after fraud or waste, but so they can find room in their budget for a massive new tax break for billionaires and profitable corporations.
Those cuts would also impact staffing at the 988 Veterans Crisis Line.
A bipartisan bill looks to improve pedestrian safety in small communities. Wisconsin Senators Tammy Baldwin and Ron Johnson are backing legislation to make roadways safer for bicyclists and pedestrians. The act will be named in honor of Sarah Langenkamp, who was killed while riding her bicycle in Bethesda in 2022. Now, if passed, federal funds would be used to cover the local cost of safety projects under the Transportation Alternatives Program. The bill would focus on communities with a population with less than 5,000 people.
WisDOT is reminding folks that Real ID requirements start May 7th. You will need it to board flights and enter federal buildings. Those Real IDs have the white star in the top corner. If your ID doesn't have that star, you'll need to go to your DMV and get one. You'll need original or certified copies of some official documents to prove your identity. A full checklist is available on wisconsindmv.gov/realid.
Well, the week of nice weather continues with temperatures once again in the 60s, and we're going to see a couple more days, including potential record temperatures on Friday when we get up to the mid-upper 70s. Even a few locations could hit the 80-degree mark for the first time this year. Overnight lows tonight still very mild. Actually, most areas will stay near or above freezing, so where overnight lows should be really into the low 20s. It's going to be a great start. And then tomorrow, more 60s, even a few spots getting close to 70, a few passing mid or high level clouds, but all in all, a little bit of more wind in the afternoon, but still a great Thursday. And otherwise, as we look at temperatures, 34 for La Crosse, getting up to 56 by noon. And you start seeing that southeast wind picking up a little bit. It'll be 10 to 15 in the afternoon hours. Eau Claire around 33, and we'll climb back up to the mid-50s with the south-southeast wind beginning to pick up a little bit, but really not until the afternoon time frame. Big picture, there's all that high clouds. We'll see a lot of that probably over the next 24, 36 hours. Won't amount to too much or keep the sun out. The next system we're watching, it's just going onshore right now with a lot of rain and snow. Pretty wet. Excuse me, I'm going to lose my voice there. Pretty wet system as it begins to approach. It will be a few days till it gets here, but that is the one that'll be giving us our stormy conditions, potentially severe weather as we get closer to Friday evening. So we'll kind of explain that and show what's going to be happening a bit later.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
A Toma man will spend 18 years in prison for a Thanksgiving stabbing incident. 45-year-old George Solis will also serve 20 years extended supervision. In 2023, Solis stabbed a victim with a kitchen knife while he and his family were watching football. When a family member tried to step in, Solis tried to stab them as well. As part of a deal, Solis pleaded no contest to 4 lesser charges, including first-degree reckless injury.
A UWL student facing a sexual assault charge is standing mute in court today. The court entering a not guilty plea for 19-year-old Logan Zdanowicz. He's accused of sexually assaulting a woman at a dorm in Laux Hall after partying with her. He is free on a $5,000 bond.
2 22-year-olds are in custody after allegedly breaking into St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Vernon County. Emmett Price Rathert and Kayet Lynn Wu allegedly broke into the church Tuesday afternoon. According to church members, several windows were broken and 2 rooms were trashed. The church's groundkeeper says he noticed a random car outside of the church. When he entered the building, he found the couple inside with a hammer.
I tried to find out who he was and why he was here, and he just avoided the questions, wouldn't tell me nothing. And I noticed he had a hammer in his hand, so I kept my distance from him and finally maneuvered so he walked out the door with his girlfriend, and they got in their car and raced across the lawn.
Schoenberg says church members spent over 2 hours cleaning up the mess. St. Peter's will still hold their Sunday service this weekend.
A reported gas leak forcing an evacuation of the apartments above Legends and Beer House in downtown La Crosse today. Police and fire crews were on that scene for about an hour. After a search of the building and an all clear, everyone evacuated was allowed back in.
La Crosse School District offered a first look at the new elementary school. The new school will be built on the Hogan Administration building site. An open house showed the district's plans for the building and asked the community for feedback. It will be home to the 550 students coming from Spence and Emerson. Architects say they had to get creative with the design because of the smaller site they're building on.
Plans that we're showing tonight are actually going to show a 3-story option. We've done some elevation studies in the neighborhood, and this isn't going to be a whole lot taller than the current building that's here. And through some plays of design, the building is going to fit in well with the neighborhood.
Construction is expected to start this spring, and they hope for the building to be completed for the 2027 through 28 school year.
A local group is helping La Crosse remember its history. The Enduring Families Project performed at Holman Library, telling the previously unknown stories of African Americans who lived in the region in the mid-19th to early 20th century. They hope the stories can generate new conversations about this community's development.
Especially in a time and age where Black people weren't really meant to be stars in really anything, and so the fact that he came from here, that's a big deal. And so getting to hear that story and bring it alive is amazing.
The La Crosse County Historical Society sponsored today's event.
A healthcare professional weighs in on measles outbreaks.
What Wisconsin families can do to protect themselves after the break.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin family-owned turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
When my sister was murdered 15 years ago, Brad Schimmel kept his promise to us. He told us he was going to get us justice, and he did. When I see these commercials attacking him, I have a lot to say about that, because Brad would kneel next to my mom and hold her hands. And you're going to tell me that's a person that doesn't care about victims? I'm sorry, that is not true. Brad puts victims first, and that's the type of person that should be in the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
As spring break travel season approaches, the DHS is sharing ways to protect yourself from measles.
As of March 6th, a total of 222 measles cases have been reported across the country. While there have been no confirmed cases in Wisconsin, less than 85% of children in the state are vaccinated for the disease. That's the second lowest rate in the country. 2 doses of the MMR vaccine are about 97% effective at preventing measles.
The MMR vaccine, making sure you're up to date, is a critical tool in your toolbox for keeping yourself safe and also others around you, especially as we go in this spring break season.
The virus is easily spread from person to person through coughing and sneezing. The virus can stay in the air for up to 2 hours.
An Eau Claire homeless shelter is facing uncertainty. Funding and staffing shortages are impacting Sojourner House. Catholic Charities of the Diocese of La Crosse says year-round operations could drop to just 6 months. In the meantime, Catholic Charities and officials are trying to work on possible solutions.
Great Rivers United Way launched another round of their Impacts program today. The group partners with local businesses to make and donate snack and hygiene packs for those in need. Today, Hydrite Chemical Company joined the effort.
Saw the need in the community. Our nonprofit partners have the need, of course, and our workplace partners are looking for community engagement opportunities, and we came in and offered this and filled that gap.
The packs made today will benefit local after-school programs and youth services programs.
I will have more news ahead.
But first,
we got another couple nice days, including 70s for your Friday. Unfortunately, we're going to have showers and thunderstorms come back in that could be severe and could impact your Friday evening activities. We'll plan it all out coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we believe in working together to address real-world challenges. That's why we're proud to help farmers cultivate healthy food and landowners preserve and maintain forest land. We're proud to educate the next generation of teachers and drive groundbreaking medical research. Together, we make an impact that rings loud and clear. One Wisconsin, on Wisconsin.
You know what's on my mind? It's butt cold out here and I don't have any heat at home. Well, gotta have heat, Einstein. Up yours, smarty. I just don't know who to call.
Jacob said Chuck used the local company. The Primary Colors, the good one?
What?
What?
Huh?
Well, there's your sign.
Jeez Louise.
Moron.
Hey, putz.
Call GNC.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
I want to drive a big truck.
College, tuition, bills. Someday I'll get that new truck.
This is just where we're at right now. Someday you'll get that big truck.
We've waited 40 years for this Denali, and it's beautiful. Is the big truck next?
Some kids just never grow up.
For over 25 years, Window World's provided quality products for homeowners around the country, including windows and doors. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they'll never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable fiberglass construction that provides up to 4 times the insulation value of wood. When it comes time for new windows or doors, trust America's exterior remodeler. Trust Window World.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. Right now, there's a lot of false ads trying to tell you who I am. So I thought I'd tell you myself. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars. I believe in protecting your family and your right to privacy, and that women have the right to make their own decisions about their health care. Because to me, that's just common sense. And that's why I'm running for Supreme Court.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, Mount Lacrosse is closed for the season.
Yeah, it originally planned to close after this weekend, but the warm conditions are forcing them to close a little early. They will still host their Mountain Meltdown party on Saturday to celebrate the successful season.
And that looks like so much fun, a Mountain Meltdown party.
And I'm thinking about it, it felt like that season was pretty short, too.
It was. Luckily, I did get to hit up the slopes about once. I did go there just to watch the ski competition this past weekend, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, winter's gone, everyone. It's warming up, getting sunnier, and
pretty much gone.
Better thing, kind of, right, Greg?
It's still March. Yeah, we're gonna get still snow in March or even April. So we still got the nice weather here. 60s Wednesday, we have record highs potentially. That means mid 70s, upper 70s. A few spots could hit the first 80 degrees. So definitely warm and windy too for that day. Thunderstorms look to come in a line 8 to about midnight. Severe looks maybe about 8 to 11 p.m. Further south you go, better opportunity to get some damaging winds with these. We'll see if they hold together. Otherwise, showers Saturday, especially the morning, and we could get rain or snow mix or even all snow Saturday night. Not expecting accumulation, but it will feel quite not that great going Saturday night if you got to have any activities for the prior to St. Patrick's weekend here. Overall temperatures upper 60s, near 70s. Spots could get that. A few passing clouds. Winds in the afternoon a little bit more, 10 to 15, but still light. Now going into Friday morning, we're looking at potentially temperatures struggling to get below 50. That could set a few records going on. And then as we look at the high temperatures for Friday, we're looking at potentially mid-upper 70s, and yes, got a Bosquebel up there hitting 82, so definitely is a possibility. We have cloud cover in the afternoon. The winds will pick up, so breezy afternoon conditions. And we're looking at these winds, 35 to 40 in the afternoon, gust potential. Now, if we had a little bit lower relative humidity, we could have some fire issues going on, which they do have further into south and west of the area, so something to keep in mind. Definitely not a day to be burning with the fuels that are pretty much dormant right now. Those winds will continue to the evening, and that's why the storms are going to move fairly quickly, and that severe threat higher to the south as I kind of jumped across that, but that slight risk comes up to Winona area. Really damaging wind is going to be the one problem, as they are going to race up here pretty quick, and with already the wind pretty much up to about 35, 40 blowing out of with the wind gusts, it won't take too much to get some wind gusts, maybe over 55 to near 60. The hail threat, tornado threat, all the rest of them are far less. It's kind of too early in the season to see that, but we'll have to keep an eye. Basically, about 8 to 10, this line is going to be coming through just after 8 p.m. See some red start showing up there too, a little bit less as you go further north. We'll see what time, but that would be really kind of a squall line type feature as it pushes northeast fairly quickly. That's why it'll be wind. The good news is by the time we get to about 10 p.m., it's going to be 11 or 12, it's pushed all the way up to the northeast of the area. So the rest of the night probably will be fairly quiet, cloudy. The winds will start backing down a little bit as this low comes right overhead, which means another round of showers will come through probably in the morning time frame. We could even see a rumble of thunder through the morning. Then I think in the afternoon, as the low pushes northeast, we're going to get the winds picking up. And then, yes, we have a little bit of snow coming in the backside. So Saturday night into Sunday, we could see a little bit of snow and temperatures falling below freezing. So one thing to keep note of, you got plans Sunday morning. Might be a few slick spots given our temperatures will go back below freezing. Sunday definitely going to feel more like the end of February, early March. St. Patrick's Day, breezy, but still fairly nice. And then, yes, we're keeping an eye on next Wednesday night, because that could be another accumulating snow event for some areas too, as we get more into a typical March. So enjoy the next couple days, because I don't know if we'll see the 70s for quite a while right now.
Okay, not till June.
Well, you know, maybe a little earlier than that. We might see them in April.
We'll get a flare. We'll get a flare.
They're depressed too much over there.
Gosh.
Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Badgers know who their opponent will be in Big Ten tournament action. Plus, it's the final batch of nominees for the News 8 Play of the Week for the winter sports season. Jacob is next.
You trust the First Horn Weather Team to keep you safe, and even better, you can take us with you. Expect more with hourly temps and conditions, video forecast, interactive radar, and your choice of notifications. We're there when you need us.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
This event is so big, it has something in it for everyone.
For power people, all electric, hybrid, or gas.
For towing people, Pro Trailer Backup Assist.
And Pro Power Onboard for tailgating people.
No wonder Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in America for 48 straight years.
Get 3.9% APR and $1,000 bonus cash, or lease for only $399 a month for 36 months on a new Ford F-150 STX.
Tax refund season is here, and Wesco on Sparta is making it more fun than ever. Dreaming of a brand new sectional or that comfy bed you've been eyeing? Now's the time to treat yourself. Save 20% all month long on furniture and bedding, just in time to make your home the talk of the group chat. Have fun with your tax refund and make your space shine with Wesco and Sparta. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Tell them Peyton sent you.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you see discoloration or damaged wood here, that can mean rotted materials here. Cheap repairs or inserts can cause bigger problems fast. You need a trusted window company to replace the window and fix the surrounding materials correctly. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Save $100 off each window and door, plus an additional $500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more, plus no interest financing available.
I'm Sheriff David Zerner with an urgent message. We can't keep you safe when liberal judges refuse to actually punish violent criminals. And Judge Susan Crawford, she's the worst. She continually lets dangerous criminals off easy. 4 years for a man who raped a 6-year-old child. 2 years for a wife beater who also shot a man. Only 90 days for a man who strangled a woman. With judges like Susan Crawford putting violent criminals back on the streets, we can't keep you safe.
Tell Judge Crawford to stop releasing dangerous criminals.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Final game of the day on day one of the MSHSL girls basketball tournament. Caledonia ladies taking on 3-seed Minnehaha Academy. Redhawks off to a good start, up 8, but check out Aubrey Klug with a step-back triple that rattles home. Warriors down 5. Minnehaha's star Addie Mack then taking it coast to coast off the rebound. She finishes with the left. Caledonia entering the half down 37-26. In the second half, the girls from southeast Minnesota showing fight. It's Klug with a couple spin moves, and the push shot will go. She had 25 points on the night. Warriors got this thing as close to tied under 6 minutes left, but then it's Mack with 2 more of her game-high 34 off the balance fadeaway jump shot, and Caledonia's season comes to a close in the state quarterfinals. Well, Big Ten tournament getting underway on the men's side this afternoon. Winner of the Gophers and Northwestern will take on the Badgers tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Early in this one, senior second teamer Dawson Garcia with the pretty stroke from the corner to put Minnesota up 1. Then Gophers trailing by 6 before Garcia is going to facilitate this time, and Isaac Asuma's attempt from the wing is money, drawing Minnesota closer. But the Wildcat offense had a big second half today. This pretty much sums up the day for Gopher fans. KJ Wyndham somehow gets the corner 3 to drop. And Nick Martinelli had 28 points for Northwestern, 2 of them right here as the Wildcats pick up the first win of the Big Ten tournament, and they'll move on to tomorrow. So it'll be the Badgers and Wildcats at 1:30. Wisconsin boasts the 5th most wins in the league tournament since its inception. And last year, UW made a run to the title game as a 5 seed. And the Badgers will have a key piece back in the lineup as Max Klesmit is good to go for tomorrow's matchup.
We've had a guy that's been here for 3 years and started, and it's a big piece of this team. It's an important piece just because of how this group has all come together. So when you pull one of those cogs out, it has an impact.
All right, now it's time for the last batch of nominees for the News 8 Play of the Week in the winter sports season. Kicking things off at number 1, Team State Wrestling last Friday. Holman's Caleb Eggerichs with the big-time throw, and he would seal the deal with the fall moments later. Vikings won their opening duel over Muskego before falling to Kaukauna in the semis. Coming in at number 2, this dude was a straight-up flamethrower in the first half of last Saturday's NCAA D3 second-round game against St. Norbert's. UW Wells' Dustin DeRusso ripping the cords from downtown. 5 threes in the first half in the Eagles' 77-67 win. At number 3, regional semi-action in West Salem, Panthers' Spencer Camel with the quick hands. And check out the behind-the-back pass to Brennan Anderson, who throws it up to Nathan Dillaber for the easy lay-in. Extra effort on full display. West Salem is in sectional action tomorrow against Onalaska. More good defense on display for the 4th nominee, Caledonia's Reed Klug. We saw his sister earlier, but here he picks a Zambroda Mazeppa pocket, and the big man gets up for the two-handed jam. Impressive athleticism by the senior. Warriors are 1 win away from the state tournament appearance themselves. And finally at number 5, Aquinas had their hands full with Fall Creek last Saturday, but Logan Becker with 26 points to help lift the Blue Goals to a 60-51 victory. Junior cleared for takeoff right here with the aggressive tomahawk throwdown. So there are the choices. Voting is live, and the link is out right now on our News 8 Facebook page, so spread the word. We'll let you know who won during the 6 on Friday. But back to that Badger game. Hopefully they can get a couple wins here in the Big Ten tournament to get some momentum before they get to the national tournament, which is next week already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is coming up fast.
Yes.
But momentum is kind of a fickle thing in NCAA. You could win your conference tournament and then get bounced in the first round of the NCAA.
It's happened not too, it's
pretty recently for the Badgers. Yeah,
yes,
first round loss last year.
Yeah, so we'll see.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, more news right after this.
Looking for a new ride? At Ultra, we know some family members are pickier than others. Apply today at driveultra.org and find a ride that makes everyone happy. No payments for 90 days. Driver tested, puppy approved. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
Style or substance? Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $5,600 in average finance savings. We are professional grade.
Searching for gold at the end of the rainbow? Well, you can find it here at the King Furniture St. Patrick's Day sale. Get Shamrock with savings up to 60% off, plus 0% free financing, recliners, sofas, sectionals, and more. It's all here and it's all in stock and ready to be delivered. Plus, shop special savings in our incredible Lazy Boy Showcase. Let the shenanigans begin at the King Furniture St. Patrick's Day sale. Don't miss it.
Come to the 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show. Lowest prices of the year.
Windows, doors, patio doors, lowest price of the year.
Bath remodels, kitchen remodels, lowest prices of the year.
Pergolas, decks, or sunrooms, lowest price of the year.
Siding, trim, or gutters, lowest prices of the year.
27th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store, 524 Copen Avenue, La Crosse. TheBoardStoreOnline.com or call 608-782-8877.
Give your child the independence they want with Ultra's Live Your Life Spend account. It's a free account designed for money-savvy teens and young adults with all the extra features you'll love. No minimum balance and no monthly fees. Plus, cashback debit card rewards. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
An Australian man is the first in the world to leave the hospital with an artificial heart.
The patient is in his 40s, received the titanium implant last November, and it kept him alive for 100 days until his donor heart became available earlier this month. The total artificial heart pumps blood to the body and lungs, replacing both ventricles of a failing heart.
The American-Australian company behind this device says the man had severe heart failure, but is now recovering well.
Ultimately, that's what our goal is, to return these patients back to a normal quality of life. And he did return to a normal quality of life outside of the hospitals.
Doctors say it's a promising sign the device could be a long-term solution for people with heart failure, but it's still being tested and has not been approved for general use yet.
Man.
But hey, big strides right there.
Absolutely. Miracles of science on full display.
Right.
It makes such a difference for those people waiting for those major procedures like that.
Absolutely. Now it could save a lot of lives. Let's hope it keeps going.
Yeah,
They keep innovating it to for it to be a
widely available
device. Thank you, Ken. All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after the break.
You can see it. His potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Right now, you're busy taking care of the people you love. Let Window World take care of the place you live. Window World, America's exterior remodeler. Improving homes, changing lives.
After more than 30 years in banking, I have seen a lot of changes in the housing market and in home lending. The one thing that has not changed is my dedication to get to know you and your individual mortgage needs. There are many home loan programs out there today. We can sit down or talk over the phone to figure out what home loan program is best for you. Come see me and let's talk.
This is Curtis O'Brien, a convicted felon. He sexually assaulted a 5-year-old Wisconsin girl multiple times. Judge Susan Crawford could have given him 60 years in prison, but she let him walk. 2 years in prison. That's it. While his victim lives with the scars forever. She even let the predator live across the street from an elementary school. That was Crawford's choice. Another dangerous decision from Susan Crawford, putting all our kids at risk. She's just wrong for Wisconsin.
All right, tomorrow night, not tonight, tomorrow night, we do have the lunar eclipse, the worm moon, actually, what it's called. So if you're out, we do have a little bit of high clouds out there. It's high clouds, so I think you'll still see it. But if you're out there, it should be a mild night. Probably won't get below 50 degrees. Otherwise, storms come Friday evening, could be severe, much wetter and cooler for the weekend then.
We're already ready for Friday,
We
Jacob.
want the frenzy back.
We always want the frenzy, Jacob. Hey, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you tomorrow.